Today we're touching on product knowledge. Now the product we're going over today is whole life insurance, right? There's really only three types of coverage that we sell majority of the time, if we're not including annuities. But today we're talking about life insurance. So whole life coverage is what we're covering. Now whole life is going to be the most common type of policy that you sell. Whole life is generally going to be used towards FEX, meaning final expense, right? It's generally going to be used on people who are somewhat healthy, but not super healthy, not perfect health. It's going to be used for smaller coverages, so anywhere between 10 to 50, maybe 100K. Generally only 50 though. Okay? Now, final expense, what I mean by that is usually it's used for like a burial coverage. So generally the people you'll be selling whole life to are going to be in the 50 to 80-year-old range, okay? If they're under 50, usually you're going to use an IUL because an IUL acts the exact same as a whole life, except it builds at a different rate, has a different amount of cash value, and it has a potential of lapsing in the future if you don't structure it correctly, okay? But if they're 50 to 80 years old, you're generally going to use a whole life, okay? When you're looking at a whole life coverage, I'm usually going to pitch three different options. I'm usually going to start off at the max, so either 100 or a 50,000, right? My second one will usually be about 25,000, and my third one is usually going to be a 10 to 15K range. Now I'm going to base this right here, I'm going to base off the pricing. So I'm never going to pitch anything below around $70 a month. The reason I'm never pitching anything below $70 a month is because the client will not see value in that policy. I pay $30 for dinner on a regular basis. I'm going to pitch $70 a month, and I know that they're going to look at that on their bill, they're going to look at that on their bank statement and see value in the product that I set up for them. So when we're looking at whole life coverages, again, final expense, not usually like a mortgage protection or anything like that. It's usually just a smaller coverage. Not perfect health. They can have diabetes usually. They can have COPD. They can have a mixture of stuff. You just have to know how to underwrite. If they're not in perfect health though, we're going to be leaning towards the whole life coverage. Generally 10 to 50K. The way you're going to explain whole life, this is about to turn off. The way you're going to explain whole life, I'm going to show you the exact pitch right now. So Dalton, this right here is going to be a whole life coverage. It's guaranteed to pay out no matter how, when, or what you pass away from. It's going to build a cash value the entire time you're paying into it. That's going to grow at a 4.5% interest, and you can always pull out of that if you need to after the 1 year mark. Okay? Now looking at these three options, and then I'll pitch the three options. So one more time, I'll run through it with you guys. This one's a whole life coverage. It's guaranteed to pay out no matter how, when, what you pass away from. It's going to last forever, build a cash value for you the entire time you pay into it, and it's going to have a 4.5% interest attached while you pay into it. Again, you can always pull out of that if you needed to after the first year mark. The only change you're going to make ever when you're explaining whole life is if they get a graded or a guaranteed issue whole life policy, right? Now, when you're explaining those, it'll be almost the exact same. Again, this is a whole life coverage guaranteed to pay out no matter how, when, or what you pass away from. The only difference is that during the first 2 years, it's going to pay out 110% of the premiums you paid into it. Meaning, after the first 2 years, it's the guaranteed full amount, but during the first 2 years, it's what you've paid into it plus 10%. The only reason the company is doing that is because you got graded based off of bad health. I already ran you through about 4 different companies currently, and they all tried to either decline you or give you a 2-year waiting period. Like I said, this is what we're going to go with right now. We can always change it later down the line if you get healthier, and we can try to re-qualify you for something without a 2-year waiting period, but this is the best option that I have currently within the state. That's how you guys explain whole life. If you have any questions, again, I'm in office every single day. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a text, go ahead and ask. But when you're explaining whole life, that's exactly how you do it. This is who you're going to sell it to. This is how you're going to sell it. This is when you're going to use it.